Hello and welcome to Topsim. I am William Lebowski, and it has been a while since we have last seen each other. A lot of big changes have come since last speaking, and I guess the first thing we'll go over is this is just going to be a Ramble video. Not very popular in the sim racing side of YouTube things, but I'm sure if you hang out on YouTube, you'll be pretty familiar with content creators just making more rambly style videos. But anyway, this is that, so probably not too broadly appealing, but just for those who were kind of wondering where I've been. And then the second thing is I did switch to an ultra-wide monitor, so that is new for, the both of us. The difference being this wasn't supposed to be such an abrupt change. This was actually delivered right before I had to leave. But anyway, let's get into where I was, why I had to go. So I've been having GI problems for a while now, and over the last year, they've only gotten to really intensify, and not just intensify without really coming back down. And so, fourth gear, whoops. I've been curious as to what's going on, as well as it's been interrupting my life in some major ways. I have to imagine that if my life wasn't already being interrupted by the pandemic, it would only be worse than it is now. And so I've been basically having a lot of problems with pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and as many weird variations of kind of those things that you would imagine. And for a long time, it even removed my ability to live stream or to even just sit and game for a few hours at a time. And it even got to the point where I couldn't drive in the car for over about an hour and a half without having to stop at the side of the road or in a rest stop or gas station bathroom and either vomit or have diarrhea or something like that. So it was getting pretty significantly impactful on my life. Whoops, driving off-road. It seems like I need to catch my breath for a second. But anyway, so it was really these GI problems were really starting to impact my life, and I was going to the doctor locally, regionally, but just not getting any kind of answers, results, or even attention paid to the symptoms that I was having, or even treatment of the symptoms, so to say. And so I was just having a really hard time. Not really eating or drinking. There were even times I had gone to the ER over the last few years, but in the past year, I had gone to the ER because I had just stopped the ability to keep food down, to keep liquids down, and I got to the point where I was pretty dehydrated, and I guess what's the malnutritive, whatever the correct word there is, but I just didn't have any nutrition in me either, and so I had to go to the ER for some emergency intervention as far as that goes. And at that point, they told me to follow up with my regular doctor. And so I did, and we ran some tests, and I found out that I had C. diff, the C. diff toxin, which is something you usually only see happen to old people because they're usually the only ones at risk. Usually you have to be on some pretty heavy antibiotics to get it, which I had not been, or spend some time in a hospital, which I also had done. So it's this reason for exposure is unknown as to why I was testing positive for it and continuing to test positive for it, getting on several doses of heavy antibiotics, which could have caused it to return, because one of the reasons you do get it, like I just said, is being on antibiotics. So the first time I had it, who knows why, but it's possible that I would have weakened my body's response to it, allowing myself to either not get rid of it or to keep getting it from being on subsequent rounds of antibiotics over and over and over again. And so I finally had an opportunity to go see a doctor that was known in my family. Other family members have gone to him for similar kind of GI problems, and that's another thing. This is kind of runs in the family. So I had an opportunity to go see this doctor, and it was kind of at the drop of a hat. Within let's see, 36 hours, I was gone from when the opportunity came up. And excuse me, I have to take a drink. My throat is on fire for some reason. Probably because I haven't done this in 2 weeks. But anyway, so I had this opportunity to see this doctor. The opportunity came up. Within 36 hours, I was gone. And I had to drive to Chicago at least, because that was where the doctor was. And I said earlier, being in the car for even, 1.5 hours was a huge problem for me. And so getting to Chicago was kind of no small task of itself, but I got there, got to the doctor, and then beyond that, I didn't have a ride, I didn't have a way back home directly, and so I had to go to where my parents were in Michigan for 2 weeks. Oh, I'm about to go off course. Oh, contact with the wall. Whoops, again, I've been gone for 2 weeks. So I had to go to Michigan because that was my only option at the time. And I was there for 2 weeks. Obviously, don't have my sim rig, don't have any gaming PC or anything like that. And so I was pretty much unplugged for the time as well. And away from sim racing, away from really a reliable way to watch YouTube videos even. Just watching a few videos here and there on my phone when I was able to watch them. And so it was, it definitely was refreshing, but I did of course miss the fake race car. I definitely missed sim racing. But it was a good break because I was able to conquer some of the problems I have, like being able to sit in a car for longer than an hour and that. And also, oh, I forgot to mention, the doctor's appointment was fruitful. We went through a step approach, a many-fold treatment plan, as well as treatment of symptoms that I have been having. And that seems to be putting me on a pretty positive path forward. It seems to be working. I'm very happy with it. But more importantly, I've been feeling good now. I've been eating regularly for a couple weeks now, almost 3 weeks. And that has been the best part for me, in making me feel better and more regular. Hopefully getting to the point where I can be completely regular again soon. But beyond that, this is the most speed I've had in a while. Got to make sure to adequately slow down here. But beyond that, it's now at the point where I'm allowed to kind of get myself back to normal. And that also means getting back into the groove of making top sim videos. Because as I came back and got into the rig and realized how different everything had felt, and then starting to record videos and realize how your content creator voice, so to say, is also like a muscle that needs to be flexed. And so having been away from that for such a long period of time, I had to get comfortable doing that again. And then there's some equipment change with the monitor, moving to a different aspect ratio, which is something so far that I'm really loving. So far, it's kind of like the difference between playing at 60 FPS and then jumping up to 144. But this is huge. This extra real estate is just, I don't know how to, I don't think there's any going back, at least to a single 16:9 monitor. I don't think that there is a single 16:9 monitor, whether it be refresh rate or resolution. I don't see one stealing me away from this ultra wide. It's really perfect for sim racing. I don't think I'd be interested in doing something like playing Warzone on it, but I am loving it for specifically sim racing. So beyond that, just I'm getting myself back into the groove of making content again. And start to see a trickle into your sub box as we go forward. Hoping to get back to getting up to a couple videos. Oh, and we've killed the car. Hoping to get up to a couple videos a week again sometime soon. But that's all I got. Thank you guys very much. I do appreciate it. And here's to getting back to normal. See you in the next one.